Hi Courtney, Matt here from Willow Creek Golf Academy. We'd just like to review today's session, go over the visuals, remind us of the drills and the exercises. Today's theme, we're trying to get a bit more distance, so when we go back on those white tees we can get to the greens in reg. A couple of things I want to look at from this position. First and foremost, I just want to compliment you on where you are at the top of your backswing, how high those hands are, how the left arm is staying nice and straight. And as we've seen the progression there, the hands are getting higher and higher. Therefore, the bigger the arc, the more distance you're going to get because you're going to get more club head speed. A great comparison, here's one of my favorites, showing you this comparison, is Juli Inkster. You can see how nice and high her hands are, how the left arm is nice and straight. So very comparable positions right there. The first area we want to change today is how the legs come through the swing. What you can see right here, well, she hasn't made contact with the ball yet, and you can see the right knee is nearly touching the left knee. So whenever we watch ladies play golf, we always look at them and think they swing very effortless and easy. But as you can see right there, that's the opposite end of effortless. You can see how aggressive the lower body is. And what we can see when we come down to yourself, well, at this position right here, I'd like to see a little bit more leg action from the ground up. As you can see right here, your back foot is planted on the floor. Juli Inkster is coming up. Her right knee is nearly touching the left. For me, there's too big a gap right there. And the chain reaction then is how your left arm is starting to fold, as hers is staying nice and straight. Obviously, without the use of cameras, this is very tough for you to work on. So what I want to do is go back to our bag drill exercise, but with the golf ball. Get yourself a pitching wedge, put an alignment stick or another shaft on the ground on your feet line. I want to get the shafts so they're parallel to each other. I want us to physically stop and take a look at it as you are right there. I then want us to look back down to the ball, and without going back any further, what I want you to do is just engage your lower body. So basically use your legs as you would when you throw a ball. And the further we can hit it, the better. What you can see right here, as you're coming in like Juli Inkster, now the legs are getting active. As you can see, lower body's working a lot differently from the ground up. The back foot, the right knee is nearly touching the left knee, and your left arm and shaft is nice and straight. So it checks a lot of boxes for us right there. Ultimately, make sure the checkpoints stay the same. Get the form right. Don't make the backswing longer. And don't change your club. And then once you have a certain distance with the right form and a nice strike, simply trying to hit the ball further and further, but without changing the club or taking the back further. So the only way you can do that is by getting the upper body and lower body working more active together. The second part of the session was talking about how the club and the hands work through the swing. What we saw today, and this wasn't every shot, but what we saw today was on the way down, sometimes that club stays over that line and the hands, as you can see, come off that line. What we're looking for in an ideal world is the hands stay on that line and the club underneath. And again, without cameras and things like that, it's tough for you to work on it. So what I'm going to suggest, if 12 o'clock is your target line, I'm going to put a club or an alignment stick behind at 12 o'clock. And then I want you to put one there between, I would say roughly between 7 and 2 on the clock face. And I want us to work on taking the club back over the 12 o'clock. And then on the way down, I want the club to work from 7 to 1 on the clock face. And what you can see when we do this, a lot of changes made. Well, now you can see the club coming underneath that line and the hand staying closer to that line. I would definitely encourage you to start doing this with wedges first and then start building up to bigger clubs and bigger swings. For me personally, you can start doing this in the house. You can just work on how your hands are working. On the way down, I'm looking for the hands to work from 7 to 1. Basically closer to your right pocket is what I'm looking for there. So hopefully this makes sense and the visuals help. If you have any questions whatsoever, don't hesitate to call me. My direct line, 603-489-0267.